In this video we're going to have a look at creating a timesheet via the StaffBooks iPhone app. So to do this you click on My Timesheets and you'll see there's a Create New Timesheet button. So this is for creating a timesheet that you weren't for work that you weren't rostered on for. So we click Create New Timesheet. You'll see there's a range of information you can enter into your timesheet, such as the client. It'll provide a list of clients that's controlled by your employee. So if you don't find a client here that you'd expect to see, you'd need to contact your employee and ask them to put it there. For the purpose of the example, we'll set it as client B. You can choose a venue. So again, there's a list of venues that are available to you. This list of venues is again controlled by employees. So if you don't see a venue that you expect to see there, you'd need to contact them and ask them to add it for you. So we'll just call it the Queen Victoria building for this example. Now, you can set a role. You don't have to include all this information on your timesheet if it's not required, but you can set a role, so the tasks that you did while you were performing this shift. So you might say I was a site manager or whatever it was. Then you can do your start time. So there's two ways of sort of entering a start time. You can either hit the start clock, which will start counting and create basically a clock on, clock off device. You can come back, 2, 3, 4 hours later, or whenever it is, and hit the stop clock, and it will track the time for you. Likewise, you can basically just overwrite that and hit the start time and choose the time that you actually did the shift. So we might say this shift happened on as the example, the 9th, that started at I don't know, we'll call it 12 p.m. We'll do, and we'll say that it finished at 4 p.m. So it's a 4-hour shift. Now you may have had a break, so you can add a break in this shift. You just click Add Break. Select the break length, so we'll just say 30 minutes. No need to write mins, just write the number. Choose the start time of the break, so your shift started at 12, so you might say add a break at 2, as an example. Now you can also track expenses or create expenses on your timesheet, so that might be something like, say, travel or potentially a meal or something like that. So you could say the expense description was travel, as an example. The units is, it could say, look, I used 20 litres of petrol as an example. So there's 20 units and the cost per unit was 1.35 as an example. And then you can take a photograph of the receipt and attach that to the timesheet. So you can either just take a photo, or you could choose a photo from your photo gallery. So for this purpose, I'll just hit accept. Now you can also hit the view, get a digital signature attached to the timesheet as well. So you see this, it'll give you a sort of a summary of the timesheet, so where it happened, the role, all the information you've entered, what time you started, finished, the break, the expense you had, and then you can get somebody to sign it, hit save, and then submit your timesheet. And that's really the process of creating a timesheet. So it'll create the timesheet, send the timesheet back to the payroll administrator and into their system, which may take 30 seconds or 20 seconds or so to do, so just leave it sort of processing. Once it does that, it'll create the timesheet as you see here, and it's all been submitted. This timesheet will eventually cycle out when the payroll administrator has seen it and